I get it, you scroll through endless listings of home golf simulators, each with glossy photos of perfect swing arcs and a projector that looks like it could turn your garage into a Pro Tour arena. Then you click buy, and the first time you actually set up the system, the screen is too small, the projector isn't bright enough, or the launch data feels off. That's the exact nightmare I want to help you avoid, so let's break down whether the SkyTrak ST Max Ultimate Studio package lives up to the hype or just adds another dusty piece of equipment to the corner. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest question most people have is, do I really need all of this in one bundle? The ST-MAX comes with a dual radar launch monitor, a 10-foot enclosure, a full-size impact screen, a high lumens GT2000 HDR projector, a 55 feet true turf hitting mat, and even a putting green that's already sewn into the mat. On paper, it looks like the ultimate plug-and-play solution, but the real test is how those pieces actually work together in a typical home or garage setting. If you've been using a basic launch monitor that only gives you ball speed and spin, you'll notice an immediate jump in data depth with the SkyTrak's dual Doppler radar. It tracks club head speed, launch angle, spin axis, and side spin with a level of precision that's often only found on commercial club fitting rigs. In practice, that means when you hit a driver on a rainy Saturday, the screen shows you not just how far the ball would have traveled, but also how much curve you're imparting. I tried it with a mid-handicap 22-handed driver, and the numbers matched my own feel. The launch angle was a few degrees higher than my usual range, which explained the thin miss I was getting on the course. For anyone serious about improving swing mechanics, that data reliability is the core value. The projector is where the experience can either shine or stumble. The GT2000 HDR puts out 3,500 lumens, which is enough to produce a bright, clear image even in a dim garage with a few ambient lights left on. When I set it up about 8 feet from the impact screen, the virtual fairway looked crisp enough to read the grass grain, and the ball flight animation tracked smoothly. The downside is that the projector does need a darkened room to really pop. If you live in a bright basement with a high ceiling, you'll have to dim the lights more than you might like. Also, the built-in speaker system is decent for casual play, but if you want cinematic sound you'll have to add external speakers, which adds a small extra cost. Now let's talk about the enclosure and screen. The frame is steel reinforced and comes with a quick-release latch system that lets you fold the whole thing down in under 10 minutes. That's a real convenience if you share the space with a home gym or a workshop. The impact screen itself is 108 feet and made of a high-impact polymer that survived a few mishits when I was testing the driver with a heavy club. The only practical gripe is the screen's tension. After a week of regular use it started to sag a millimeter in the center, which is barely noticeable but could affect the image geometry if you're a stickler for perfect visuals. The hitting mat deserves its own shout-out. The 55 feet true turf surface mimics the feel of a fairway tee box, and it's thick enough to cushion the clubhead on full swings without feeling too spongy. I tested it with a set of irons, a driver, and even a wedge, and the feedback was consistent across the board. The integrated putting turf is seamless, so you can transition from a drive to a 10-foot putt without moving any equipment. For a golfer who wants to practice the entire game in one session, that continuity is a major time saver. However, the mat's edges are bound with a rubber strip that can lift a little after repeated clipping of the ball tray, so you'll want to keep an eye on that and re-secure it if it starts to curl. Speaking of the ball tray, it's designed to sit flush under the mat and holds up to 100 balls. The tray is sturdy enough that you can dump a full bucket of balls onto it without it buckling, and the balls roll straight into the launch monitor's capture zone. The only hidden trade-off is that you'll need to purchase your own range balls. The package doesn't include any, and using cheap practice balls can throw off the radar spin readings. Stick with a reputable brand, and you'll get accurate data. Who should buy this? If you're a mid-handicap golfer who spends a lot of time on the course and wants a reliable way to track swing data at home, the SkyTrak ST-MAX makes sense. It's also a solid pick for families who want a shared entertainment setup. The enclosure can double as a gaming area, and the projector can switch to movie mode when you're